Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Muhammad Qasim. My question is, we teach 11 or 12 lessons a day here in Pakistan. So do the students in United States carry the same burden there?
Very good question. See, the thing is, in our school, we've done this now. And a lot of people are doing this in America. We have, just like how having less storage, like space on your phone is a good thing, having too much storage is also a bad thing. Is that right? If your phone gigabyte, if like for example my iPhone, I think it's like 256, I don't know what it is, but if the storage gets full with more information, more things, it slows down the phone. The efficiency goes down, right? So there is this study done by Yale that, this idea that you can have this level of excellency in multiple fields is a fantasy. You can't. Basically, they said a person cannot be excellent in 3 different things. You can't do 3. Like you can't be, for example, an alim who's teaching, right? At the same time, you are also an engineer, and at the same time, you're also a doctor. It's impossible. They said there are people that may be able to do 2, maybe 2, but 3, you won't be excellent in any of them. Okay? There's an Arabic proverb, "Akhdul kul tarkul kul." You try to grab everything, but you end up losing everything. So the shift that we have done now is that there's all these elective classes. We just figured out which ones are the ones that a person needs. Like I was sitting in the car the other day, and I think I said Pluto. So I said, my son is 6, 7 years old, and he said to me, I was driving. He asked me where this guy went. I'm like, this is a joke. I said, he's gone to planet Pluto or something like that. I'm like, he's gone to planet Pluto. So my son says to me, Abuji, Pluto's not a planet anymore. Pluto is not a planet. Is it? Yeah. So Pluto is not a planet anymore. तो मैं सोच में पड़ गया. मैंने कहा इसको पढ़ाना कि Pluto is not a planet. Why is that useful? Why is it useful that Pluto is? पहले जब मैं पढ़ता था उस वक्त planet था. Now they say it's what is it called now? Atomic, something in the universe, but it's not a planet anymore. So you guys need to sit down and study that are among all these 11 subjects. I mean, can they study? Can they do all 11? Possibly. We want to keep them busy. But at the same time, sometimes these kids' backpacks are heavier than them. Okay, backpack uthai, right? And you pick up the kid. The backpack is heavier than the kid, right? Okay? Is that really a good way to teach kids? No, I'm just asking, is that really a good way to teach kids? Is that you overload them with information? Or there's a book, you guys can read it, it's called Deep Work by Cal Newport. And he speaks about and he argues about how a person should focus. There should be a focus on certain things, get really good at it, and instead of just throwing everything at somebody. So I'm not sure what you want to get my opinion on these things, right? So I'm going to give my opinion. Whether you want to follow it or not is a different story. But I've seen in Pakistan people know a little about everything. So they're called jack of all trades. And a king of none, right?
Master of none.
A master of none. A jack of all trades. Like total sab kuch. You find a mufti in every masjid. You find a doctor in every masjid, even though they never studied. But they know, you find a mufassir in every masjid, you find a muhaddith in every masjid, you find a scientist in every masjid, but they have never studied anything. So I would say that in our school, we only teach 5 subjects. 5 in grade 7. But because in our school, and in regular schools, they teach 7. And I still think they waste a lot of time in regular schools. I studied in a regular school. You have 1.5 hour recess, you have lunch breaks, you have all these holidays, you have all these field trips. Literally a lot of time is going in past time. It's the best free babysitting available. Babysitting, free. School base dosko. That's it. You get free babysitting. In our madrasa, in our institute that we have 4 or 5 that we teach, and that's it. Because in the morning they also memorize Quran. So they're mastering the Quran and they're mastering this. So we take the core subjects and we take them from we start grade 5. One grade elementary school, then from grade 5 to grade 12. We take the core subjects and we take them from here all the way to the grade 12, and make them better and build on it year by year, year by year, year by year, so that they become proficient in those core subjects. All the other electives, I will tell you one thing, I've noticed this throughout my life, anyone can read one book and know enough about it. They don't have to go through a whole year of it. You understand what I'm saying? For example, you read one book on economics, you will learn enough about economics that basically whatever you're being taught in school, you'll learn in one book. So you have to, like in madrasas, I learned this from madrasa. In madrasas, in Dars al-Nizami, after 7-8 years of studying, they teach you, they tell you this in front of you, they say, look, you're an alim. But at the end of the day, the purpose of you doing this is that inside of your heart, you have this zeal and desire to open books and study. So if you don't have that, if you become alim, and you come to a room like this, and your eyes, if there's a whole room sitting here, and there's a book right there, and the first thing you don't look at is that book, कि किताब कौन सी है, and pick up the book, try to read it, then you have not fulfilled the purpose of becoming alim. Alim बनने का तो purpose ये है कि आपके शौक पैदा हो दिल में कि मैं किताबें पढूं, ilm सीखूं. So the same thing with these studies. If the kids hate their books, then you have completely, it's an oxymoron. You have made them worse. They can't stand their books, they throw it away. Kids come home and their mother has to force them to study. ठीक है, एक ज़माने तक ठीक है. But alim course में भी होता है. Like by the time they're done grade 10, are they actually loving what they're studying? Or are you forcing it down their throat? So the idea is to make them enjoy what they're doing, teach them less, but teach them good. And make them good at that, and don't make them a jack of all trades. We've seen that to be very successful. I'm not sure in Pakistan, if I ask you what you're teaching, it's going to take too long. But 11 subjects does seem like quite a bit.